Sorry for my appearance. I haven't been able to sleep too well. Actually, I didn't sleep at all tonight, which I like noticed. I was like, why am I so sluggish, you know? And then I realized I felt really light actually after not sleeping tonight. And yeah, I realized like halfway through the day that I just hadn't slept. Because, like, it's not that I didn't know I didn't sleep when I wasn't sleeping. Like, I was working on STEM tonight. And like when I like got up when the sun rose. I just got up and like I kind of forgot. It's weird. I don't really know why, but yeah, my growth plates have fused. Figured that out. I mean, I went to the doctor. So I've just been sort of, my sleep schedule's really been slipping and going amok now because, there's no subconscious reason, at least in my mind. Which is, kind of a stupid way to look at things, look at sleep, but I'm definitely going to be trying more experimental polyphasic sleep cycles from now on, just because, there's no real growth potential anymore. Maybe there is brain growth potential, but that happens during REM sleep. And if I can maximize that, with a traditional polyphasic cycle, then I could potentially even, increase my neuroplasticity, which is kind of a pseudoscience, I guess, but I guess it's down to the individual and it's up for experimentation, and I don't really see anything, any um downsides to trying it. But yeah, I've been working on STEM, and one thing that I realized when I came here, I was on my laptop, my ThinkPad, which is pretty old and it's crusty, you know, is that it actually really sucks to both develop a web app and also to use a web app. Like, it's just all around a non-optimal environment when you think about it. There's no real upside to making a web app besides the one fantasy that, startups have been pushing for so long, which is, oh, your users are just going to get on and they're instantly going to be in the app, which I think is stupid because I don't even think you want that. When you think about it, for a more dedicated platform, I mean, if it's like a quick tool, like a converter tool or whatever, sure. But for a more dedicated platform, that's like the last thing you want, kind of, because if you have a dedicated desktop app, it's significantly harder for it's significantly harder for bot farms, botnets, and stuff to attack. Your attack surface has shrunken significantly because you're not exposed directly to the web, and your users are going to be much more dedicated to the platform because when you have a desktop app, that's the key difference, is that the user has like, you are an application, like a program on the user's desktop. That is significantly more important and a much more, I don't know how to say it, but like a much more desirable situation for an application to be in, because you're constantly in the user's mind, right? You're just part of their desktop now, so you're part of their workflow. That's the thing. Web apps don't really become part of your workflow, they just become like an endpoint, like YouTube. And I don't really want that for STEM. I want it to be more of, not a middleman, but, well, yeah, I guess a middleman. That's kind of the scope of STEM from now on, is you record your video. Maybe I could even take it down to the level of just being a record and streaming software, which, now that I think about it, that's actually pretty much, that's the core of what I want STEM to be. Is it's a recording software where you have separate inputs for like your camera video and your screen capture and stuff like that. But yeah, that one actually encapsulate the whole thing, because that's only part of the vision. The whole vision is basically for peer programming. So you need OpenStage. Actually, no, no, no. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking more about it, and it definitely does need a platform supporting it. But I mean, at its core, STEM is streaming platform, where you have these separate inputs. Each input is an individual object. So you have your camera live feed, you have your microphone live feed, your screen capture, and you have your screen's audio feed, and whatever else you want. And these are all objects, and what you can do is you can invite someone to your stage, and they have their own objects, and you can position that however you want. The difference here is that each of these objects is saved individually. So you can rearrange them. For example, for a clip, for vertical orientation, you can maybe move the two videos above each other and then, have the screen somewhere else. Or, like you could position it however you like. And the really cool part about that is because all the audio tracks and the video tracks are separate, you can do AI analysis of all of them separately and then cross-reference them and put them in a RAG, like a vectorized database. So you can refer to the entire video or even entire channels semantically. And I think that's really cool. That's the end goal, obviously. I'm working towards that. But first, obviously have to get the object video and audio feeds working. It's difficult. I don't know why, video communication is this difficult in the year 2026. I feel like we should have much better solutions, but it's pretty difficult. I was using HLS early on, and that was just not working. It had like a 20-second delay, and it was doing this weird echo thing for some reason, and I couldn't fix it, and it had all these buffering issues and whatnot. So I definitely have to use WebRTC, but WebRTC has like a bunch of its own problems, and it's kind of difficult. Yeah.